Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of S.H.Figuarts Kamen Rider Mach from Kamen Rider Drive. Let's go ahead and jump right in and take a very quick look at the box. Same new style packaging that's in the sleeker box here. It's actually pretty neat looking on this one, I think, because it's, you know, mainly black, and then you have the contrast here of Mach kind of appearing out of the shadows. I got the logo up here. A nice side shot of Mach, which also looks pretty cool, contrasting off of it there. And then on the back, it just advertises pose you can do with them like usual, and his bike right there. So yeah, nothing really amazing to note, but pretty neat looking box design this time, I think, because of the contrast. As for accessories, he comes with a decent amount, actually. He's got quite a bit of different hands here. You know, you got the different holding weapon hands, expression hands, closed fists that come with him. You got two different scarves. One I have on him, which is just kind of the generic down one, and then this one right here, which is a little bit split open, and then you can, you know, have it look like it's blowing in the wind. So you have those two different choices. You have a signal change here. You got just kind of default on him right now. Why isn't this focusing in? There we go. So you got that on there. And then actually, if you can see it here, it's super tiny, and it's like every time you cut your nails, you need them afterwards. But in here, which I really don't want to take out, is actually the little signal bike change, which you can put in his belt, because the belt lifts up, which is really neat, but definitely be careful with small pieces like that. The release bonus with this guy, just like with Chaser, you get a tire change for Kamen Rider Drive. So in this case, you get Funky Spike right here, which once again is pretty cool looking. I think it's really neat. You get a core base here, which you can switch out for almost anything, but it switches out very easily on Drive. Once again, I apologize for my selfishness, but I really don't want to get him out of the pose I have him in, so I'm not going to show it. But if I get like the effect pieces and stuff later, I'll probably show them off. But this can swap out with the Drive Figuart. It looks nice shine to it. These are actually pretty pointy. And then in addition to the tire, you get the swappable little shift car there, and if you can see right there is the little swappable like insignia for the Drive driver. Damn, the tire just rolled away. Classic. No, but yeah, so that's neat. You get the William the Bloody tire change there, or the Funky William the Bloody. Alright, so that's it for what he comes with. Before we get him out of his pose here, I guess we'll do his little fashion show. I'm going to turn him so he's turning towards us sooner, and you can see on the back there's his little scarf piece, which is, it's very easy to swap out. But let me say, I think the Mach figure looks really good. I like it quite a bit. I absolutely love Mach's suit. It's probably one of my more favorite designs of all time, actually. The character's very iffy for me on the show. He's kind of all over the place, but his suit is just fantastic. I love its simplicity. I think it looks really neat. And I think the figure did a great job. So far, the Drive figures have looked pretty good, but have been a bit strange in some areas for me. But I think this one is another very solid figure. It looks really good. All the details there look nice proportion issues. No real huge issues. I do have one small issue, which I'll bring up in a minute. But overall, very good looking figure. Captures the look of him well. Looks excellent on the shelf. I'm very pleased with it for the most part. Very nice looking there. Now we're going to stop his fashion show briefly. There we go. Pretty good timing. And as you can see, in addition to the other stuff I showed that he came with, he does come with the Zenrin shooter, which, like all Figuarts weapon, is very nicely detailed. Figuarts weapons, excuse me. Now my only real complaint with him look-wise comes with his helmet, which does indeed lift up and actually fully come off. It's actually very close in terms of feel to the tire change, but it can lift up there so you can do his whole, you know, exhaust or whatever, and it's got a nice glittery paint under there, and then fold down. But therein lies this is like a really small nitpick, but you actually really have to push it down to get it down as close as possible. But when you push it down, there's this little space here, like you can see there's white space between the helmet over and the visor, or the visor. Which it's so small, but it kind of bothers me because I was looking up pictures of Mach, and it's not like that. There's no real huge gap. It's very close. They're all, you know, the over helmet and the under helmet line up perfectly, and this like black lining actually, if anything, there's a black lining around here that's very small, but it doesn't leave that gap. It's very small, and if you press it down good enough, it's not that noticeable, and it's a very small thing, but it just did kind of bother me that it did have that. I just kind of noticed that right off the bat, that I had to really push it down. Maybe some other people's are different, but that's the way mine is there. Here's his belly. Here's a closer look. You can push it up here and actually remove his signal bike and replace it with the other one, which is a neat little feature, just like the other one. The mold is the same core mold as the other Drive ones I've been using, which is very good. And this one's very solid. Nice 360 articulation here, swiveling, double elbow joint, swiveling at his fist. Nice ball joint on his leg, swiveling there as well. Knee joint. You get a nice little hinged ball joint on his foot here, so you get some solid range of movement there. The toe bending, the chest and waist articulation, the head and neck are both on nice ball joints. So if you're not familiar with Figuarts, they're all very well articulated. And you know, it's very strange, if you've been keeping up with these Drive Figuart reviews, it's very strange how my opinion kind of varies. Like, I mentioned in those reviews that the Kamen Figuarts were the first in a long time of the current series airing figures being really good, and I hope the Drive continued that. And they didn't quite live up to Gaim's quality, but they did pretty close. I thought Drive's was pretty solid. It didn't quite feel that same quality. And Chase wasn't really a bad figure, but there was something about him that just didn't even feel the same quality as Drive. But this one does. I don't know if it's maybe just something personally, but in terms of just messing around with the figure, Drive and Mach feel on par in terms of quality, and yeah, I got it right. Drive and Mach feel on par in terms of quality, and there's just something about Chase that feels a little bit lesser. I'm not sure what it is, but Mach definitely feels on par in terms of articulation and look and just overall feel with Drive in terms of quality. In fact, he might even feel a little bit better in some areas in terms of the mold. My only real problem look-wise just being that visor issue, which seems really nitpicky, but it just kind of bugs me. Now you can switch out his little tire change here, which is pretty easy. You just pop that off there, and you get the little signal change out here. Now let me see if I can remember. Can you do it like this? I don't think you can. I think you have to put this piece on first, or put it back on first rather. Put back on his little signal change, and then where's the new one? New one's right here. And just pop it on there, and you have a signal change. So very easy, definitely not as cool as Drive's, but very easy to do. I want to put back the other one because that's the one I want to keep on there. And I don't know if they're going to be releasing more. I don't know if Mach's bike comes with another one or not, or they're planning on other ones, but that's still neat. I imagine that if they do Dead Heat, maybe he'll come with some more or something like that. But yeah, overall, it's a very nice figure. I'm pretty happy with it. Like I mentioned at the top of the review, I really like Mach's suit design a lot, so I'm very pleased to have a nice figure for it. Nice solid mold, no loose joint problems. It feels like a solid quality. The design on it looks great. The only real issue I have, honestly, is that small little visor issue, which it's like the more I talk about it, the more like small and petty it seems, but it's just, you know, when you buy the higher end figures, you kind of notice smaller things because you're paying so much. But overall, I'm very, very pleased with Mach. I really like this figure quite a bit, actually, and if you're a Mach fan, whether it's suit or character or both or whatever, I definitely can recommend checking it out. I think it's a really good figure, a good representation of it. Definitely don't let that visor thing hold you back. Can you imagine if I was like, well, this figure gets A's everywhere except for that visor thing. Don't buy it because of this tiny little millimeter of visor space. But yeah, definitely I recommend checking it out. Very, very nice figure. Very pleased with it overall. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's Dawson Rider and Mach Scarf, signing out.